Hi, my name is James Nielsen. This is for FTT201 and today's date is June 27th, 2024. In today's video, I'll be hydro dipping the frame of my PSA dagger. So first, we'll go ahead and unbox our hydro dip kit. First, we have our little pamphlet. Kind of a little bit of a, instruction guide. Some rubber gloves, Scotch pad, tack cloth, some easy wipes, and a little paintbrush, probably for touch-ups. Then we have our tan base coat, our Hydrographics for activating the film, and our flat clear coat. And lastly, we have our film, which is a deserty camo pattern. And that's everything in the kit. Get rid of that. And now we can go ahead and begin to degrease and scuff up the frame. All right, let's go ahead and start degreasing this frame. First, let's throw on some rubber gloves. All right, let's get started. I do have quite a bit of oil down here, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a shop cloth with a little bit of acetone, and I'm gonna go over it once before we use our easy wipes. This is a brand new gun and it's never been fired, so that helps out a little bit with the oil, but I did oil the slide the other day because it was a little sticky, and I think that's where a lot of my excess oil kind of came from down here. Gonna get all that excess shot braid off of there. Alright, now we'll go ahead and take one of our easy wipes. We're gonna use this more coarse side. Just give the frame a really nice scrub down. Alright, let's fold that up. We'll save that again for after we scuff it. So now we'll go ahead and take our Scotch-Brite pad and scuff the entire frame. Be sure when you're going around your serial number, you don't end up scuffing that up, and we'll go ahead and make sure we tape that off too before. All right, we're gonna go back over that now with our easy wipe again. All right, now we're ready for our base coat. But first, we have to tape off everything that we do not want the Hydrographics getting onto. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape everything off, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, we're back, and I got everything taped up. I also added in a wooden dowel, which I'm gonna use to just hold it while I paint it, and it'll be used to dip into my dip tank or bucket. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll go outside, we'll get set up, and we'll get a couple coats of tan on here. All right, let's go ahead and apply our first coat, which is just gonna be a tack coat. We're gonna do a really nice light mist across the whole piece. That'll give the next coat a really nice surface to grab onto. All right, that's gonna do it for our first coat. Like I said, it's just a light tack coat, and this will give our second coat a really nice surface to bite onto. So we'll wait about 5 minutes, we'll come back and we'll throw on our second coat of tan. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and apply our second coat. We're gonna go a little heavier this time. Make sure to hit it from different angles, because as you can see, this frame does have a lot of little nooks and crannies, and you want to make sure that the paint is getting into all those areas, especially the trigger guard. All right, that's gonna do it for our second coat. We'll go ahead and let this dry again for about 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and apply a third coat. We're back, we're gonna put on our last coat. And we're gonna go a little bit thicker this time, a little heavier, but we don't wanna cause any runs, so you don't wanna get too close, and you don't wanna spray too heavy in one spot for too long. All right, I think we're gonna call that good. We're gonna let this dry for 30 minutes before we dip it. So in that time, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a table, and we'll get ready to dip it. We'll get the film cut to size for my tank, all that stuff. So I'll be back with you guys shortly. All right, we are back down in the shop. We got the frame kind of just propped up here in my vise to dry. We're gonna go ahead and get the film prepped for the dip. So here's my dip tank. It is about 15.5 by, call it 11. Now it does have these indents here, so we'll make sure we've cut the film to kind of fit within that. So let's take a measurement from the inside of that. And we're looking at about 13 1/4. By 9.5. So we'll go ahead and get our film rolled out here. And I think what I'm going to do is just cut a slit, this is approximate size, and I'm just going to cut it. Well, let's get a little bit quick measurement here. We'll do, what did I say, 9.5. So let's do 9. We'll go about right here. Well, we'll make it a little bigger. That way we can come back and trim it down if we have to. Now we are going to need 2 of these sheets because I am going to dip this frame one side at a time. So let's go ahead and get another one to match, and then we'll cut them both to fit perfectly into our bucket. There we are. Roll that out to about there. And let's cut this one as well. That's trash. All right, we have 2 pieces of film cut approximately the same size. Now we're going to go ahead and tape our edges. I'm just going to fold this tape over onto itself. And then we're going to cut some relief cuts in all of our corners. A little bit of a wrinkle right here. I'm going to cut a little bit of a relief right there. That'll help that out. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Tape kind of, but there we go. That's one sheet of film. Should be ready to go. All right, that should work. Let's get our other piece of film ready to go. I'm going to trim this one down just a little bit more before I tape it. All right, we're all set up out here. Our water is at about 96 degrees. It's a little warmer than recommended, but I think the temperature range was right around that, so we should be all right. So we're gonna go ahead and take our film, and you want to put the shiny side or the sticky side to the water first. We're gonna let that hydrate for about a minute. All right, we're gonna go inside. We'll rinse off all the slime, and once it dries, we'll tape off this side, and we'll go ahead and dip the other side. All right, we're back. We're gonna go ahead and dip the other side. So I got our other piece of film here. We'll go ahead and check our water temperature. I did completely empty it and refill it, just to get rid of all that stuff in there, since it is such a small bin. I didn't want all that extra stuff floating around in there. Looks like we're at about 92 degrees, so we should be good to go. we're gonna go ahead and activate. Hope my dowel stays in here. It's getting a little loose. I had to retape everything, so hopefully we can get this last dip in and we're good to go. I'm gonna try to avoid this big long line that we got going on in here, so. That did not go as planned. Hopefully it still turned out. All right, now the last step here is gonna be to apply our clear coat. So give this thing a good shake, and we'll do just as we did with the paint. We'll do a nice light tack coat for our first coat, and then we'll increase it on our second and third coat. All right, we'll give that about 5 minutes to tack up, and then we'll go ahead and put on our second coat. It's been about 5 minutes. We can go ahead and apply our second coat of clear coat. That should do it for our second coat. We'll go ahead and let this dry, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and put on our final coat of clear coat. All right, so that's gonna do it. After this dries, we'll get everything untaped and we'll see how it looks. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for our hydro dipping lab. As you can see, the frame turned out pretty nice. That second dip, when the frame fell into the bucket and I had that bare patch here, I ended up re-dipping this side. So it actually turned out a lot nicer the second time around. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. Once it dries, I'll reassemble the firearm and I'll put some pictures in there at the end. This thing is still stripped, obviously, so here's our gray slide. Just to give you a little preview of what it's gonna look like. And that looks pretty cool to me. So, that's all I have for you guys today, and thanks for watching.